Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Stroganoff. I'm Lilith.
And I am Eli.
And oh boy. It's been a Ben recently.
It's been a bin.
So today we bring you Miscellaneous.
Part 3.
Yes. So we got a bunch of stuff that we don't think would make a full episode, but we still want to talk about sooner or later. So let's start off with so remember Genshin? We talked about it like 4 months ago.
Yeah, I think about 4 months ago, yeah.
Yeah. What's Genshin been doing?
Genshin's been doing. I actually cannot remember when like temporally in relation to our episode that Falling Stars event happened, but at some point after that there were other events. They released a new snowy area, which is kind of cool. It also is a major pain in the ass, but it's kind of cool.
It is a pain in the ass, yes.
There was a quest. There was a big like event thing there. I didn't do it. I got the sword. I got the sword at least.
Fair enough.
A lot of banners, as is to be expected.
Yeah. Had some good banners, some bad banners, some boring banners, some exciting banners.
I kind of fell off playing Genshin. Figured I'd come back when a like cool banner came out, or like there was like a actual like major content edition.
Yeah.
Well, a cool banner came out. Hu Tao. And I had all these Prima Gems saved up. I had about almost 9,000. And I'm like, all right, I should be saving these. Like, I want Klee, I want Chi-Chi. I want those two characters. And I think there was like one other I wanted. I don't remember. If I don't remember, it doesn't matter. But so I go to roll. I put 10 wish tokens in, and I get Jianglang, and I get Water Boy. I'm like, all right, cool, nice, 2 4-stars in a row. Put 10 more wish tokens in. I get 2 Jianglangs. That's been I'm not the only person who's been getting like nothing but Jianglangs. And yes, I know I'm horrifically mispronouncing her name. I don't care. I know it's Zhongling, but
you don't care.
Jianglang's funnier.
Yeah. I mean, I will take a quick divergence to say that I have noticed that in like the event wishes, for at least for me, I get 2 of the characters, like a ton of drops from them, but I never get the 3rd character. And then of course there's the, banner character. But that's a whole other discussion.
See, I always roll for like one of the 4 stars. I always end up getting the banner character. Diona, that's the one I wanted. 4-star. I sunk like 50 wishes. I didn't get Diona.
But you did get Child.
I did get Childe. I didn't want Childe. But I put in another 10 wish tokens. I let it run. I see it coming down. I see gold. I'm so excited. I'm happy. Yes. Give it to me. It's Ni Kuang. And you remember, because you were not there, but you were there. I sent you a screenshot of her. I'm like, Genshin, why have you done this?
Yes, I do remember this. It was literally 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah, and then I get another Jianglang just to rub salt into it. And then I get Hu Tao in that banner. In that 10 roll. I got 2 5-stars.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was the most glorious thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Well, it's one of the top 10 most glorious things that's ever happened to me in my life.
So I just want to recap from my perspective what happened. So you are like rolling and you're like complaining. You get Zhongling. I'm like, come on, go for 4. Because you just got her like 3 times in a row. And then you're like, oh fuck, I got Cushing.
Yeah, I just remembered it was Keeching. I got the character from the previous banner, literally the banner right before this one. I thought the game had glitched.
You're like, oh fuck, I just wasted all my Primogems. And so I joked, oh boy, time to start counting to 70. Because 70 is when the soft pity starts, I think.
Yes.
Yes. But then, another Zhangling. And then the beauty, the majesty, mother Hu Tao comes down to bless us. 2 5-stars in one roll. That I've never seen that happen to me.
It's like God sending manna down from heaven.
Beautiful.
I did get Nikwang again this banner because I was trying to get a second Hu Tao because I wanted to complete her constellation. I got Nikwang. And I cannot pronounce her name, so that's not intentional. I literally cannot pronounce her name.
I think it's Ningguang. I don't know. In any case,
I got Hu Tao in 30 wishes.
Beautiful. Of course, we don't know how many he rolled before that, so we can't properly calibrate for if this was pity or luck. Either way,
this was both. Because I knew I was due a pity, but I was on the 50-50.
Ah.
And I got and so that's why I was super pissed when I got Keeching. Because I knew that I'd fallen on the bad side of that coin flip. Apparently the coin landed upright.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So what did you realize about Hu Tao, like, immediately after you got her and you started running around and playing with her?
She's very short.
Yeah, she's very short.
And she has long hair.
She has very long hair.
Not very long hair.
She has pretty long hair.
She's got long hair. She doesn't have long hair, she has long hair.
Okay.
Long is longer than long.
Yes, but it's not, like, super long.
No, it's not, like, super long.
Yeah, but it's
pretty long.
It's long.
But it's not super long. It's long.
And she has fire powers.
And she has an amazing hat.
Yes. And she has a cool coat.
And she has an amazing coat.
Basically, what we're saying is she's a Shauna clone.
She's a non-tsundere Chinese Shauna clone.
But we're not entirely certain on the tsundere part, so...
Nah, she's not.
Are we sure?
She's like the lovable prankster archetype. Except her pranks usually involve death.
Okay.
She's really creepy. It's great.
Yeah. Good times.
But in terms of gameplay, she's fantastic. She actually kind of plays a little bit like Childe.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Because I mean, hey, like I got Childe because like 5-star, but she plays a little bit like Childe. She's based. Now I've been told by people on the internet with no credentials that
so obviously incredibly trustworthy.
She is like between Venti and Diluc in terms of power. And then someone said, so she's a Klee, and someone said she's like a little bit stronger than Klee.
Wow.
All I know is she's decent. First off, all I know is that Diluc sucks. I hate Diluc. I know he's supposed to be like the most powerful character in the game so far. Well, I don't care. Diluc is the worst.
See, the thing is about Diluc is that he's really, really strong if you build him one way. If you build him the bog standard crit damage and attack with Wolf's Gravestone, he's super OP. He kills anything in like 2 hits.
Yeah, thing is, if I want to play a game that involves spreadsheets for fun, it's not going to be Genshin Impact.
That is fair. There's a lot of other games you can play if you want to play spreadsheets.
There are games that are basically literally spreadsheets.
Yeah. There's also just playing with a spreadsheet. I do that all the time.
Hu Tao, she's heavily skill based in that, because it's all about like stamina management, energy management, health management.
Yeah.
Because her basic attack is with a spear, and she's pretty good. It can hit multiple people, so pretty good in crowds. The only way for her to deal elemental damage is to sacrifice like her E skill. If you press the E key,
yes,
it converts her attacks to dealing pyro damage, but it sacrifices a proportion of her health.
Okay.
So you have to sacrifice health on her to do damage. But then, because as you deal elemental damage, you gain energy. When her elemental burst fills up, that deals AoE pyro damage, and based on the amount of people it hits, she gains back health.
That's very nice.
So you have it's skill based in that you have to be constantly managing your health, managing your energy gain, and your stamina, because her heavy attack puts blood blossoms on people, which deals like damage over time.
Ooh, nice.
And like I think it lowers their pyro resistance.
That's useful.
So that's why I compared her to Childe, like his like tide marker thing that he does.
And can you pop those with her ultimates?
No, they don't really pop.
Oh, they just bleed. That's fair.
So she I know precisely how as soon as I got her, I knew precisely how I wanted to build her, like full energy regen, so that she can pop her tactical ability, slaughter everyone, like deal a ton of damage around her, get a full burst it, get all her health back, pop it again, and deal more damage, enough to by the time the cooldown on the ultimate's done, she has her energy back. That's how I want to build her.
All right, that's fair.
I don't have the artifacts for it, or the weapons for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She also does more damage the lower her health is. And she gains back more health with her ultimate the lower her health is. So again, health management. She's great. She requires skill. Most of the time, I've gotten the pattern down. Sometimes she still dies horribly.
Oh, that's a shame. There's actually, the last character that was released has a similar mechanic. Zhao.
Keqing?
No, Zhao. Kuxing's been in the game since the beginning.
Yeah, but her banner was last time.
Okay, the one before that. I haven't played it in like a month, so forgive me.
Neither have I.
But Zhao, I sad to say, I spent so much time simping for Zhongli. I switched him out for Zhao. 'Cause, I mean, Rock Daddy is good, but Windboy Lancer is fucking badass. He's like Raiden from Metal Gear Rising. Basically, his elemental ability allows him to just dash around, and he can also use it in the air or while you're gliding, which is really nice. So if you're like gliding from somewhere, you can go. It just shoots you horizontally, so you can get to glide faster. Or, well, you glide farther, I suppose. Semantics. It's really useful. I like it. It also does damage if you pass through somebody. And then his ultimate, he puts on a mask and he does extra, whatchamacallit? Wind damage.
Animo,
yes, thank you. He does extra animo damage on all his basic attacks. Massively increased AoE for his basic attacks. He's a basic attack monster at that point. And also, his jump height is greatly increased. So, normally you'd like jump half a foot off the ground or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he jumps like above up to the face plates of the big, burly Lawa churls, the big dudes. The really big dudes. You jump all the way up there with his ultimate on.
There are like several Oculuses that that you could probably just easily get using that ability.
Oh no, I don't doubt it. It's super useful, and I've actually popped it to get get somewhere once or twice or like 3-4 times. It happens more often than you think, because he's got a pretty low charge ability, and Animo reacts with everything. So
Oh yeah, Animo's the best. My Traveler uses Animo exclusively, and I just got I was rolling for the Staff of Homa to equip Hu Tao with.
yeah.
And I ended up getting this sword. I don't remember its name. It's like Aquila something.
I think you mentioned
it's some sort of like it's some sort of like Animos. It basically it's no, I'm thinking of my gladiator artifacts that I just got. Whatever. My Traveler, Animo Traveler, they're beast. They do like bonus Animo damage, and then every like a number of attacks they deal like just an extra Animo attack that pushes enemies back. And every time they use their tactical ability, well, not every time, like every 10 seconds, they gain 2% of their health back.
Oh, hot damn.
And every time they take damage, every like 1 in 5 times they take damage, they gain their health back.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, like use Dilute, blah, blah, blah. No, Traveler is OP. Especially since the Traveler can, like, pick up, it can switch between Geo and Animo. And I'm fairly certain, like 99.99% certain, that like trend is going to continue.
Oh, definitely.
So when they release like the Electro country and the like Water country, and all, you can switch. So like I'm imagining there is no one more useful, more crap. What's the word? I can't
Versatile?
English. What's versatile?
Yes.
As the Traveler. If you have the Traveler in your party, you can just swap out your boost.
You do have to make a trip to a statue, though.
You can just teleport, though. You can teleport literally directly to a statue.
Well, yeah, I know, but what if you come across a problem that's like, oh, Electro would be perfect for this, and then you're like, okay, I gotta go back to the Electro statue, switch it out, and then, oh, now I gotta find where I was.
Yeah, but if you're like, you have limited XP material to keep like people upgraded.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
The Traveler is your jack of all trades because they keep their upgrades, not their constellation, but they keep their
their skill upgrades don't stay with them either.
Yeah, but like the base stats that get upgraded.
Oh
you're
yeah,
not having
definitely.
to upgrade Chongyun from level 1 to get ice.
Okay, fair enough.
Or is Chi-Chi the only ice one that's a 5-star? There's Diona, there's Chi-Chi, and there's Chongyu.
There's Ganyu.
Who's that?
The goat.
Oh yeah, she's ice.
Yeah, she's a cryo.
Yeah, I never went for her.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, she's a goat.
I just saw Hu Tao. I'm like, huh, interesting. Then I saw her trailer. I'm like, huh, interesting. Then I saw her other trailer. I'm like, okay, I have to have it.
Good times, good times.
So yeah, my not so humble brag. I got Hu Tao. Now, well, I have Hu Tao. I want Klee, but I don't need Klee anymore because I have Hu Tao.
Yeah, but think about it this way: if you have both Klee and Hu Tao, you get to activate the Pyro Resonance ability for your party, which gives your entire party plus 15% attack or something.
Yeah, but then I might as well just throw Zhongling into it because she gives plus 25% Pyro to all Pyro in the party.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, that's why she's. Hu Tao's banner is probably one of the best banners for just an entire party because all of the support, like it's Hu Tao, and then you got like other supports that work extremely well with her.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, no, Hu Tao's banner is actually pretty freaking amazing.
All right then.
From the perspective of me, someone who is authoritative on nothing.
You're authoritative on some things, which we'll get into later.
But yeah, no. Hu Tao's banner is pretty good. Hu Tao's pretty amazing.
Hu Tao.
Hu Tao.
I mean, really, that's the entire purpose of this section of the episode. Is just you wanted to brag because you got Hu Tao.
I got Hu Tao.
You're like, oh yeah, I got Hu Tao. Oh, and also I got 2 5 stars in one roll.
I don't care though.
Yeah, you don't care about getting 2 5 stars. You're just like Hu Tao. I got Hu Tao. That's all I care about.
I'd care more about Keeching if Inazuma wasn't the next area to be unlocked, because Keeching uses like a regular sword, and so does a Traveler.
Yeah.
And again, the Traveler will be able to use Electro.
Yeah,
so
that's true. I mean, Keeching's been part of my party ever since I unlocked her, so to each their own.
If it weren't that, if I knew that that Inazuma wasn't coming, like, I guess relatively soon, Keeching would probably be in my party.
Yeah, that's
especially
fair.
since I have Hu Tao, so just like overload reactions.
Overload. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. Good stuff. Good.
As of right now, I have Traveler, Childe, because Childe works kind of good with. Childe works okay with Hu Tao. Hu Tao, and as always, Noelle.
Of course.
I got my main damage dealer, my ranged damage dealer, my secondary damage dealer, and my Noelle.
I laugh, but she's a solid, like, bruiser, support, tank. She's a very well-rounded character.
She is the best tank in the game, and if you disagree with me, you are wrong. You're probably right, but the damage she can tank with the loadout I have for her, if she drops below 90% health, she gets a bonus to defense.
And she already gets stronger just based on her defense. Oh, that's silly.
Noelle pairs actually pretty decently with Hu Tao, because Hu Tao, do a bunch of damage, swap to Noelle, tank the enemy's response, use her shield and health back ability to get Hu Tao back up to health, swap back to Hu Tao, rinse and repeat. And of course, my Traveler is just OP.
Yeah, and then you're like, unlock the forbidden seals and send in the Traveler to kill whatever's in his way.
My Traveler has 1600 attack.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I mean, my Cushing has like 2400 attack.
Yeah, but what level is your Keeching?
80? 85?
Okay, I'm 70.
Okay, yeah, no, I had like 2200 on my Cushing at level 70.
Whatever, let's not compare builds.
To be fair, I was building purely for attack.
Yeah.
That was all I built for.
My Traveler actually has really good health.
Well, that's good. Nice and survivable.
Decent defense. They can tank a hit. They can tank a hit more from the size of their health bar than from actual like defense rating.
That's fair. But just, your Traveler's a nice solid core for the rest of your team to build around.
Yeah. I won't be replacing Noelle until I get Chi-Chi, or they basically create Chi-Chi but not. Because I need a good healer for Hu Tao.
Yeah.
And there are other healers, but I need like a really good healer. With Hu Tao, I need ice, I need cryo, and I need a healer. And I can't. I guess Diona would work.
She's not a great healer from my experience.
She's not a great healer.
I tried replacing my Barbara with Diona, and it's just not the same.
Oh yeah, they changed Barbara's voice lines.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I noticed actually, and at first I thought I had just gone insane like I usually do, but no, apparently they really did.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I did hear something about that, but I thought it was just related to promotional stuff, but
supposedly the original voice lines are actually like the ones they discarded, but they accidentally put them in. But there's like, oh, it's not like a huge deal, so they just never got around to changing it until now.
And now everybody's like, hey, what'd you do with the old voice lines?
They were kind of better. I mean, I don't like Barbara, but they somehow made Barbara slightly worse.
Oh, poor Barbara.
What good is she?
That's a very good question. I mean, she's not even a real doctor. But then again, that's more of a mark on Mondstadt than a mark on her.
I think I commented on that. Like, I was doing Jean's because I'm like, why did I take Jean after she lost consciousness? Did I just drag her body to the church? Not to a doctor, to the church. To have Barbara take care of her. Who, not knocking on Barbara, I'm absolutely knocking on Barbara, but she moonlights as a singer. Not a lot of medical skill there.
Yeah, but she has
She's
magical
working
healing.
She's working like 3 jobs.
None of which she's particularly good at.
None of which she's good at.
Poor Barbara.
Whatever. So yeah, Genshin update. Yeah, still fun.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll have to jump back in a bit. Play around a bit. Maybe get my Zhao up to as high as level as I can.
So, on to our second topic, the one you suggested.
Yes. So this is actually from something you mentioned when you were watching Seraph of the End. And it's basically how anime uses like religious references in their world building and naming of stuff.
Yes.
So for a bad example, let's talk about Seraph of the End.
But by the way, people who listen to Anime Stroganoff, I watched Seraph of the End. I watched the first season. I don't think it's even technically I think it's like made as 2 parts, but I watched the first 12 episodes. Dear sweet God, I've had more miserable experiences watching anime. This is still in the top 10 though.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about specifically
We're not
Seraph
here to
of
talk
the
about
End.
that, no.
We're here to talk about
Seraph of the End is just what made me notice this. It opened my eyes. Yeah, religion. You know, I don't want to say specifically Western religion, but I suppose that's what's I guess I notice more because I have more of a basis for comparison. Yeah, I live in the West. I live in the United States. That's most of my frames of reference involve the United States.
And so you notice when people aren't using biblical lore properly. I mean, admittedly, American television is very guilty of that as well, but
oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's run through what Seraph of the End did real quick for context. What kind of stuff did they do? I remember something about 4 horsemen.
Oh, dear sweet God. The 4 horsemen. The 4 horsemen of John. Something that aggravates me. You had to bring it up. You had to remind me.
That was the most memorable thing.
The 4 horsemen of John. Like, 3 lies for the price of 1. So, I'm assuming that the 4 horsemen of John is a reference to the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse from I believe, the Book of Revelations. I say I believe because there's a lot of books of the Bible, and they may have been in other ones.
Very true.
I have so many complaints. One, there's not 4 of them. It's literally just like a generic monster name. Like, it's a 4 horsemen. Not even a 4th horseman, a 4 horseman.
Is it like made
so that
of
already
4
aggravates me.
things?
No, it's a giant monster.
What?
It's just a generic giant monster. I don't even think they're particularly horse-shaped. Or person-shaped. I'm pretty sure you require one of those 2 things. That's just generic. They're just generic giant monsters. So yeah. The 4 Horsemen of John. I guess they could be referring to the other name of the Book of Revelations, which is the Gospel of John. That's not the Gospel of John. It's the Apocalypse of John. That's what it's called. The Revelation to John. Not John, the guy who wrote the Book of John. Completely different John.
There's a lot of modern generic names in the Bible.
I get that if you didn't research it, that you might be confused if you saw like it referred to as the Apocalypse of John. That you might go, oh, like same John. No, it's not the same John. It's a completely different, completely unrelated, completely unknown John.
That's a deep cut reference in that case.
So the Seraphs, Seraph, so Seraph, I'm 99% assuming they're referring to the Seraphim, which are one of the types of angels, depending on your theological beliefs.
Yes.
In this case, they are... I didn't get far enough to truly understand, but they're just like two dudes who, I guess, have magic powers.
I mean, that's nothing new. It's anime.
Yeah. Could have called them like Nephilim or something cool like that. I think I mentioned this. Symphogear is probably the most biblically accurate anime I've ever seen.
Yes. I love it.
And it fucking shouldn't be.
I mean, this is an anime where a pissed off immortal Babylonian priestess creates
Who's God's psycho ex-girlfriend.
God's psycho ex-girlfriend, who creates a wave motion cannon out of the Tower of Babel to destroy the moon.
And it somehow manages to be the most biblically accurate anime I've ever seen. And that angers me.
It helps that it kind of helps that it's not strictly biblical references.
Yeah, I guess that probably does help.
Like, because there's a lot of Mesopotamian stuff in there. I think a few Egyptian bits. Not a lot though. Mostly like Mesopotamian, and just a little bit of Bible stuff for like flavor. Because like the Nephilim shows up in season 2 as an antagonist, and it's like a nuclear reactor but alive. Obviously, that's not actually what a Nephilim is, I assume. I mean, I don't know.
There are multiple different beliefs on as to what that counts as.
Fair enough.
But that's not oh dear God.
Let's see. Let's just list some other anime that have really bad religious stuff about them. Fuck.
I'm trying to think, but I think I might have purged them all from my memory after watching Seraph of the End.
I know a lot of anime like to use totally not Christianity.
Yeah.
And they're like, where it's like, it has all the trappings of Christianity. Crosses, giant churches, etc. I'm suddenly reminded of Holy Night.
I'm suddenly reminded of a certain magical index.
Oh, hey!
I only watched the first 9 episodes because I'm like trying to like watch it with like the weird, like basically the machete order of the index universe.
Yeah.
But she's wearing a reverse engineered Shroud of Turin. I have so many questions, and I don't think they will ever be answered. At least they weren't answered in the first 9 episodes.
Didn't it explode when the main character touched it?
Yeah, the main character touched it and exploded off her body. It was actually, oh my god, I think that was like the only memorably funny moment from Index.
All right, fair enough.
That and the sort of inherent dark humor that involved her getting freaking impaled.
Very, very dramatic swings there. But like, and then circling back to Holy Night, obviously it's trash.
Yes.
So, but I want to say they didn't really have a good understanding of holy water. How does holy water work? How is holy water supposed to work in like biblical lore, I guess? Is that
I don't know if it does. I don't know if it's in biblical lore.
Figures. Because, they were just, like, soaking bullets in holy water so that they could go fight vampires or something. And I don't know if that's how holy water works. I'm trying to think if there was any other, like, big anime that used... what about Evangelion? We haven't watched that yet. But I know there's a lot of, like, weird...
We could do an entire episode on that one later.
That's a good idea.
Helsing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of weird Catholic stuff. I don't know how accurate. I mean, obviously there's the completely inaccurate, like, superpowered artifacts and stuff parts, but...
I feel like I should insert mandatory disclaimer here that I am not a Catholic.
Neither am I.
My religious education may have some holes in it on certain subjects. So a lot of this is based on what I've picked up personally.
We could probably do a whole episode on the Bible. Speaking of
Anime
that,
Stroganoff does the Bible.
Yes, it will be glorious. It's a 24-part series where we take apart the Bible and critique every instance of it, except for that one part where a girl refuses to get off a bag because she tells her dad she's menstruating. I don't know if I'm misremembering that.
You're not entirely misremembering that. Yeah, they were hiding something in their bags.
Yes.
And they were camel bags. I don't know. It doesn't matter what they were specifically. And her dad's like, "Hey, can I get a hug? My daughter of mine?" And she's like, "Sorry, Dad, I can't get up from this spot. I'm on my period." It's like, "Oh, okay. Thanks for making the situation needlessly awkward."
Good shit. Yeah, so no, that scene, that's fine. Everything else... everything else is just... We'll get to it when we get to it, okay? We will cover the Bible when we cover the Bible. But anyways...
Fate Stay Night gets a slight pass because at least they acknowledge that the Holy Grail is literally just a fancy cup they decided to call the Holy Grail for the lulz. So, simply explaining the fact that, oh yeah, like, the Holy Grail we're fighting over isn't the actual Holy Grail, we just call it that because it sounds cool. They get one pass for one of their mistakes.
Okay.
But moving on from that.
Yeah. Not quite moving on. So, looping back to Genshin Impact.
Back to Genshin Impact.
Okay, so
right.
No. This is just a one-off mention. How we were looking at fanfiction, and I found a crossover between Genshin Impact and the Bible.
Oh yeah.
I didn't read it because it didn't look very good. But the fact that it exists is hilarious. So here's the description of it. When Joshua tries to get past the kingdom of Jericho to enter the promised land, he gets more than he bargained for, but then everything turns to him when mysterious interlopers come in to save the day. I don't know what this is!
Fanfiction is the path to many secrets that some might call unnatural.
Fucking understatement. Just some of the fanfiction titles that you sent me over the last week have been disturbing.
Yeah, if I got back into Genshin, so I go to Archive of our own. First mistake, and I look at Genshin, I'm like, oh wow, 10,000, all right. 40% of it is just like incredibly horny.
Isn't 40% of it is just porn.
Yeah, I know.
The rest of it is still horny.
Yeah, I have found maybe 10 decent ones. 10 out of 10,000. That is an oceanic quantity of piss being taken right there.
Yeah. Let's take a moment to mention shippers who ship...
Oh dear God, the shippers.
Shippers who ship, like, canonically ace characters. And also shippers who ship characters that are not interested in relationships at all. That is all. Public service announcement, anime Stroganoff. Shippers fuck off. I'm just mad that Zhao/Fix exist. Zhao...
With literally everyone. He is shipped with everyone.
Why? Let the lonely boy be lonely. Ugh. Ugh. I am angry.
But, moving on from that, it's a few... Oh, this is a miscellaneous episode, just a few bits here and there.
So let's do this a miscellaneous sub-segment.
I mentioned
miscellaneous.
I mentioned last time that I'd talk about the airbag helmets in Al Noah Zero.
Yes.
So let me talk about the airbag helmets in Al Noah Zero.
Please do so.
They are mildly cool as a concept, but they are absolute trash. Number one, I don't think we've ever seen a single one of them activate in a situation that would actually be, like, protect from a head injury. They just sort of activate all the time, with, like, despite whatever manner of injury the person has had. Secondly, they only cushion the head. They don't cushion, like, the back of the neck or the spine or anything. So, like, yeah, you don't crack your head open like an egg, but you've you've severed your spine, and you're now paralyzed from the neck down. Inside the crushed cockpit of a giant robot, unable to signal for help. And then you starve to death. I literally cannot think of a single time they ever saved someone's life. And I can't think of a single time when people either they die anyway, or it activates in a situation where it wouldn't have saved them. Which I guess means that they know how dumb they are. Like the people making Al Noah Zero. But then why include them at all? Then again, why include giant robots at all? But that's just me.
I mean, by all means, go ahead and do your rant on why you don't like giant robots.
That rant will be intertwined throughout several other episodes because of the pertinent bits to different things that will tie different topics. But giant robots are. First off, they're just dumb. I don't see them as cool. I see a giant robot. I'm like, why did you make a giant humanoid robot? Although a Zero actually really pissed me off because like they're like shooting guns. They literally just have normal guns, not normal guns. Like I think they specifically at one point mentioned a 75mm cannon. I'm like, that's smaller than a tank gun. Why not just a tank? The tank has the tank is more effective than the giant robot in this situation. You're not even like increasing the firepower. And then one of the giant robots drew a pistol. Why did you make a giant robot-sized pistol? What purpose does that serve?
Sidearm?
Why? To shoot what? No, I'm serious. To shoot what? You already have a 75mm rifle for the giant robot. What could your pistol possibly do that the rifle can't take care of?
That is a very good question.
And if you're like, oh, it's for like if you run out of ammo, why not just take the weight and space of the pistol because it's big enough for a giant robot? It's big, and replace that with more ammo.
That is a very good point. So
I cannot think of anything that a giant robot-sized pistol would accomplish. I'm done with that. Okay, yeah, I'm done with that rant. That is...
Okay. We will dive more into the psyche behind Eli's hatred of giant robots another time.
It's not that I hate giant robots, I just don't like them, and people keep shoving them in my face. Not you, I mean literally everyone.
I mean, I did make you watch Gundam.
Iron Blooded Orphans was actually good, though. I didn't care for the giant robot fights, but like all the other stuff within it was really
Everything
good.
around the giant robot fights was really good. The giant robot fights themselves, though.
Which is how you make me care about a mecha series. Have everything else be really good, so that I don't care how stupid giant robots are. Iron Blood Orphans was really good.
I mean, I'm sure the Gundam people, they would just make a political drama if they didn't have to sell model kits.
Yeah, to be fair, I guess I actually kind of sympathize with that.
But then, of course, you've got the fact that at this point, there are a lot of people who are just genuinely interested in giant robots as a concept. Oh well. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well. You complained about something. I'm going to complain about something now. It's not related to anime, I think.
All right.
So, I recently finished a mostly chronological rewatch of Star Wars, as in like everything from the first episode of the Clone Wars to Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Have you seen the Rise of Skywalker?
Was that the 9th movie?
That is episode 9, yes.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, cool.
About to have a hot take from Star Wars. All right, let's go.
I think that is a law of Miscellaneous, is we have to have a Star Wars hot take every episode. Okay, why are family names so fucking important in Star Wars?
Isn't it because it's kind of like a space fantasy?
No.
It's like no?
I mean, it is space fantasy, but it's not like Space Game of Thrones.
I got that.
Okay. So, all I'm saying is...
I'm not disagreeing that it's dumb, but I'm just... It does somewhat make sense to me in the context of Star Wars being a space fantasy, that everyone cares about names so freaking much.
Does it, though? I mean, Gandalf doesn't have a last name. I mean, admittedly, he's like a...
Isn't Gandalf his last name?
Gandalf is his name. And then he has various titles attached.
Isn't this back when they I think that's before they invented last names. I'm taking the piss, guys.
Yes.
I don't want to have a siege of Lord of the Rings fans outside my door.
To be fair. Anyways, but
isn't
no,
the
just
Baggins name important in Lord of the Rings?
No.
I vaguely recall from the beginning of The Hobbit, the book. I never watched the movies. That like the Baggins is like the combination of these two other like family lines, and it's like the Baggins are like vaguely. It's not that they're important. They're sort of like, I guess, an interesting novelty in the Shire or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lord of the Rings fans. I know that there's a detailed history spanning 50 pages on this.
50?
The Cliff Notes version. The Cliff Notes version.
Oh, you meant just the family history of Bilbo and Frodo. Okay, no, that makes a lot more sense. I mean, still 50 pages. That's a little light. It's got to be at least 100.
But yeah, like it's super important where like the Baggins came from in relation to other people, in relation to like family lines and stuff. At least in the context of like the opening of The Hobbit.
Okay, yes, but
which I'm pretty sure is immediately discarded anyway. But
yes, exactly. Is it important that Frodo is a Baggins? Is anyways. So I mean, obviously we can agree that the like how Han got his last name was stupid.
Yeah.
But
I did not finish Solo. I think my brain tuned out somewhere along the line. I literally don't remember.
It held interest, but it was kind of it's a bad example of a prequel.
Rogue One was my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's a good example of a prequel, expanding on a big event.
I don't really mean like my favorite like of the side stories or like the prequels. I mean it's my favorite Star Wars film. Period.
That's fair.
I think I've said that before.
Yes, I think you have.
Might be a little hot, a little too hot of a hot take, but I don't care. I like what I like.
Fair. I mean, I can respect Rogue One. There's maybe a few moments where I'm kind of like, on it. But overall, I really like Rogue One. It's nice, tight. It gets what it wants to do done well. I think the only, like, complaint is also, like, a big compliment that a lot of people have for it, which is the Vader scene at the end. And it doesn't have a point really, or it's just Vader like chewing through a bunch of random rebel dudes.
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah.
I do not care at all about the Vader scene.
Yeah, but the problem is it's created a sort of precedent, and now everyone of importance is expected to get their own Vader hallway scene. Like Luke got his pretty recently in a thing that I'm not going to spoil in case you haven't watched a certain thing. But for whatever reason, if you don't show people being like super badass on screen, people won't believe they're super badass, which I mean sort of makes sense from a writing perspective, but at the same time, it's kind of like... all I'm saying is, when people cry at a guy killing a bunch of droids over the tearful departure of a surrogate father and surrogate son pair, there's some misplaced priorities there. Anyways, we were talking about family names.
Yes, we were.
Yes.
We got really off track
Anyways,
there.
so family names is really stupid.
Yes.
I don't hate all family names, but just family names in general, as a general concept, screw it. People can have 1 name, 3 names, 25 names. I'm going for 1,000 personally. But you can have as many or as few names as you want. You don't need a fucking family name. God damn it.
I think this will be the only thing I say on that, because otherwise we wouldn't devolve into another 15-minute rant. I think part of the problem with why family names are so important in Star Wars is it's another part of the whole Vader hallway thing. It's like bringing in things from the original trilogy or from other things in order to like connect them and give them legitimacy and everything.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it makes sense, but it's also kind of annoying. I mean, all I'm saying is, spoilers for Rise of Skywalker, that everybody going, like, oh, you're a Palpatine, doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. What does it mean to be a Palpatine? What is a Palpatine? Answer
Does she
me.
even really count?
No.
She's not a Palpatine, she's the child of a clone of a Palpatine.
Exactly. It doesn't make any fucking sense, because... Okay, first of all, even if the Palpatines are like some big political dynasty, or I'm not sure if they even are. If they even are like a political dynasty from Naboo or whatever, doesn't really matter. Because Sheev is just the one dude who's the most notable Palpatine we have ever met.
To be fair, there's a reason why no one calls themselves Mr. Hitler anymore.
No, but before that... that, he was a respected statesman. Presumably. I mean, he was kind of an asshole.
I'm pretty sure people respected Hitler, too, at one point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's Hitler. Anyways. But then... Like... Okay. So... When Leia was revealed to be Luke's sister, they didn't, like, say, oh, Leia's a Skywalker. It was just like, oh yeah, no, Leia is Luke's sister. It's not like...
Well, yeah, slightly into my point again, because at that point it's the original trilogy, so they didn't need to try and prop things up against it.
They weren't like, we need to explicitly say that Leia is a Skywalker. She'll change her last name to Leia Skywalker now.
We need to keep people invested.
Yeah. But just them saying, but, you know, like, you're a Palpatine. Because I've been running it in my head last couple days. And just mocking it a little bit. It's like, you're a Palpatine. Like, what does that mean?
Wizard, Harry.
Well, you know the old Emperor? Yeah? Wait, if I'm a Palpatine, does that mean I'm the Emperor? Well, yes and no. You're not the Emperor, you're the granddaughter of the Emperor? Then why didn't you just say that?
Again, if she's a child of a clone, then wouldn't that make her, like, the grand niece?
It's complicated. Well, because
I assume that a clone would be like a brother to a person. From a legal standpoint.
I think most likely, yes, it would be brother from a legal standpoint. So technically, she's the niece of Palpatine. But that just doesn't have the same ring to it, right? You're Palpatine's niece by way
To be
of
fair, that would
his clone brother.
that would be hilarious. Though, you're destined for evil. Why? You're the niece of Hitler. I'm Space Hitler's niece. Yes. So you're like 3 degrees removed, but go be evil now.
God. I love Star Wars, but just Rise of Skywalker is a bit of a pain in the ass. I blame J.J. Abrams and also their really short production schedule. Like, just give them another year. Let them do their own thing. Let them figure it out. Get J.J. Abrams as far away from that project as possible. Better idea. Let Kylo Ren be the main villain for the entire movie.
J.J. Abrams also do Lost?
I think so.
Why were we expecting the guy who did Lost to give us clear-cut answers on
conclusion.
anything? Yeah, satisfying conclusion.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of like George R.R. Martin. We're just like, keep going, just keep the books coming, never end them. What's someone else who can't give a satisfying conclusion? I want to say Gabe Newell, but that's more about just not getting to number 3.
So not giving a satisfying conclusion by just not giving a conclusion at all.
Yeah. Maybe we loop this back to anime. What are some?
I'm looking through my list. What didn't have a satisfying conclusion? I was gonna say All Noah Zero, but as we established, it wasn't the conclusion where All Noah Zero went wrong.
Very true. I suppose there's Darling in the Franxx, but I dare not speak ill of Trigger.
I never watched Darling in the Franxx.
You didn't miss much. Actually, you missed quite a bit in the first half, and then you missed nothing in the second half.
Yeah, I saw giant robots, and I just said, okay, cool.
Well, you see, the giant robots are a metaphor for sex. It's all just a giant metaphor.
Wow,
until you get to the back half. Until you get to the back half of season 2, at which point they're just giant robots who are not actually a metaphor for anything anymore. And it's kind of a mess, and they either needed an entire another season or just to drop that entire plot line and just stick on the personal issues thing.
You know what I just figured? I was looking through my list and I found that had a unsatisfying conclusion.
What?
The Madoka Magica movie.
Oh. Oh.
Still waiting. Shaft.
Yeah.
8 years now. It's been 8 years.
Very true. Very true.
Oh, another incredibly unsatisfying ending.
Oh. What do you got for me?
Kite Liberator.
Oh, yeah.
Dear sweet God.
Didn't it literally cut to black in the middle of a dramatic showdown?
Literally in the middle of the emotional climax of the film. It smashes to credits. I swear I had to check to see if my thing hadn't crashed. Whenever I said top 10 most miserable experiences I've had watching anime, this is number 1. And I was lukewarm throughout most of the thing, and then I started getting actually invested at the climax of the story. Characters are reaching are starting to get to conclusions of stuff, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And then pull the rug out from under me and then toss me into a bath full of acid. I am so angry.
You're still so angry. Didn't you watch that 2 years ago?
I watched it a year ago, and I'm still livid.
Yeah, that checks out.
Also, that came out in 2008. No conclusion to that either. Still, no sequel. Nothing. 13 years. Kite Liberator, get on it. Chop chop.
They're not coming back.
I don't care. I don't care. That was getting kicked in the nuggets with a steel toe boot.
Ooh. Ouch. Unsatisfying conclusions are
the worst.
Yeah, they are the worst.
The absolute worst.
Okay, so real quick, did we talk about redo of Healer during our taste of the season?
No, we didn't.
Let's briefly mention that because we're never going to talk about it again.
Okay, I almost selected it as one of my picks, not knowing what it was.
Oh, God.
But just looking at, like, the cover, my eyes glazed over. I'm like, oh, yay, isekai. And I just moved on. Probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
Yes. I mean, props. It's not technically isekai. It's
not technically. It's Peggy Sue.
It's a Peggy
which was
Sue
isekai
story.
before there was isekai.
The land before isekai. That we'll need to talk about that some other time.
We'll have part of our next isekai history.
Oh, that's a good idea. But yes, it's a Peggy Sue story where a guy becomes a hero, is stuck as a healer, and when he heals people, he experiences all of their agony at once. Like, all pain they have ever felt in their life up to that point, he feels it in that singular moment that he heals them. So yeah, that's rough.
He also apparently gets raped a bunch.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that. A lot of rape. They get him addicted to drugs or something, and basically everyone else in the story is a horrible person. And then he finds out he has the ability to time travel with his healing magic, which substitute healing magic for just like plot bullshit in this case. So you can do literally anything with healing magic, including change your face, or I want to say forge a sword, or like mess with memories, which when he goes back in time to do everything over again,
rather than choose to live a fulfilling, happy life as far away from literally everyone who's ever wronged him, no, he decides the shit must roll downhill. Except in this case, it's a mountain, and he's dropping a mountain of feces on top of it.
Yeah, so I want to say, I forget if it was this show or Hidden Dungeon. That's the one where he can, it was this one where he can, like, give XP to people by having sex with them.
Yeah, if
Thanks
you're
to his
asking
healing.
me, I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't know. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm just so confused. I'm so confused. I saw part of what brought this on, talking about this, was, well, we went and looked at it because we didn't know what it was, but we had been hearing noise about it a while back, and then we looked at it and we're like, oh shit, thank goodness we did not talk about this.
I thought it was some, like, weird ecchi harem anime.
So did I. I saw it and my eyes just glazed over. I was like, oh, another, okay, this one has a time travel thing, whatever, who cares?
Maybe that was their plan. Maybe their plan was to make something that looked, on the outside, so generic that it would be able to just fly under the radar completely.
Oh my god. Maybe.
I think that was their plan.
But too bad we live in the age of the internet, and it's way too easy to talk about, like, holy shit, did you hear about Raido of Healer? Like, yeah, that thing's fucked up. But also, there was there's a thriving community of Miku Miku dance meme makers on YouTube for Genshin Impact, and also other stuff, but mostly Genshin Impact. That's what I'm.
Wait, is that what MMD stands for?
Miku Miku dance, yes. As far
I
as
thought
I'm aware.
it stood for some sort of like
Last I checked,
editing
that's
software.
that actually is the name of it.
Why would you name an editing software that way?
Well, because it was primarily used for Vocaloid stuff originally, and then people started importing new models to it. It's kind of like Source Filmmaker, but not as good.
Whatever.
Anyways, so that's all the context you need on that entire part of the Genshin fandom. But there was a meme featuring Ether and Hu Tao that is literally just like a recontext of a scene from Redo of Healer, and then immediately after the part that the meme adapts, the okay, it's so weird. It's just so weird. Dude takes off his pants, takes off all his clothes actually, and then it's like, do you want to go to the future or do you want to just stay here and be a bitch? And the girl's like, I want to go to the future. I want to murder people. Yeah. And so she like has sex with him? I don't know. I'm so confused.
Again, if you're looking to me for context, I have nothing to give you.
I wasn't looking at you for context. I'm just so confused. I'm so confused.
But yeah, so
yeah. Let's end on a high note.
Let's end on a high note. Key of C? I don't remember music.
Neither do I. It's been a long time.
High note. Well, I didn't watch any anime. I've been keeping up with Dungeon Boonies.
That's good. That's good.
Well, I guess tell a lie. I have watched anime this week. I watched an episode of Dungeon Boonies on Monday.
I mean, I suppose tell a lie for me as well. I watched whatchamacallit, ReZero on Wednesday. So ReZero has stayed excellent.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
And I guess this is a spoiler for ReZero Season 2, whatever, Part 2?
Yes.
So let's cover years for the next 15 seconds. Doesn't Puck come back?
Yes.
And that was like a big, like, happy moment for the fandom or something?
I believe so, yes.
I have no context. I hate that thing.
It's a tiny little cat that lives inside a gemstone. It's a nice guy. He's cool. He's cool. He tried to destroy the world on multiple occasions, but it's whatever.
What? You know what? Let's not get into it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like I said in Taste of the Season, I've been keeping up with Dungeon Boonies. It's not good. It is enjoyably bad. Incredibly enjoyably bad.
All right, fair enough.
As I said, I wanted to like watch Jobless Reincarnation, like episode week to week. I can't. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. It looks so good. The first episode was so good that I want to watch all of it at once.
That is fair. That is perfect.
So I've been diligently avoiding spoilers. I will when the last episode drops. Is it? No, not Monday. 2 Mondays ago. Two Mondays from now. 2 weeks, I think.
Okay.
It's 11 episodes.
Really? Only 11?
Yes, according to my anime list.
Anything's possible.
Then I will watch it all, and I will hopefully just be encapsulated in high quality feelings of goodness.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I've been wanting to watch it week to week, but between the podcast and school stuff, it's just a lot. And so it probably is better digested as a single whole than as a bite-sized week-to-week thing. Maybe, I don't know. Really, the only thing I've been keeping up with is ReZero, personally.
I've been keeping up with Dungeon Boonies and with Eurocamp. Eurocamp because it's just a weekly dose of comfort for the soul.
Even the tiny clips that you send me after episodes come out are just so wholesome. They make my heart feel good. Which is good, because I have a serious heart issue, and I should probably get that looked out, but not right now.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm sure it's
Until
nothing.
proven otherwise, you are immortal.
I mean, admittedly, my heart hasn't beaten in like 16 years, but I'm sure that's not an issue.
That's normal.
I mean, we don't need blood, right?
But
yeah.
So yeah. Anime has been anime.
Yeah, anime is continuing to be anime.
Stroganoff has been Stroganoff.
That it has.
And we have been Anime Stroganoff.
I've been Lilith.
And I have been Eli.
And we will see you next time or on the Discord.
Or on the Discord.
Link in the description.